I think you're gonna really like this video today. We're talking about how to get your temporary residence. I'm sure a lot of you know that Mexico has just stopped doing the regularization program for people to get their temporary residence. And what that is, just in case you had no idea, because it really doesn't make sense to explain it now, is before a couple of days ago, if you had a stamp on your passport from I think 2022, 2023, 2024, if you visited Mexico in the past, you were able to apply for temporary residence using the regularization program without having the financial requirements of the regular process for temporary residency. They started this during COVID, and it's only, I guess it's only natural for them to finally stop it. It's gone on quite a few more years than they originally planned, and especially now with the mass exodus of people coming from the United States, Mexico is now regulating how you get your temporary residence. And so today I have my good friend here, Angelica, who is an attorney and specializes in processing and helping people get their temporary residence. Thank you for coming here and talking with us and just answering some questions, because I don't know if you've done your research or if you've started the process of getting your temporary residence, but it's kind of a nightmare, especially if you don't speak the language, if you don't read in Spanish, and you don't know how to put the paperwork together. Angelica here is the one to go to, where she makes the process pretty seamless and easy. But I'm going to let her kind of share. Actually, I think what we all want to know now, Angelica, is what are the requirements if someone wants we're going to speak primarily about the American or the people from the United States, what the requirements are, because as Angelica explained to me, the requirements are different depending on what country you're from. And I think sometimes what state you're from in the US, is that the same, or does it matter? Like the US is all one set of requirements, or does it matter what state you're from in the US?
No, the US is the same for all the Americans.
Okay. And so what are the requirements if an American wants to become a temporary resident of Mexico?
Okay.
What do they need?
Okay. I think that we have two steps. First, you must to do a procedure in the embassy or in the consulate in the United States, in the consulate or in the embassy Mexican in the United States.
Yeah.
You need to prove some things. For example, first, I need to say that there are a lot of types of visa.
Okay.
There are visa tourists. There are
so a tourist visa.
A tourist visa. There is a visa for job. There is a humanitarian skills. There is a sporting event.
Yeah. What if you're just planning to move to Mexico or retire in Mexico, and you're none of those? You're not any humanitarian. You're not a sports icon or anything like that.
Scientific.
Yeah, scientific. Nothing special. What if you're just a boring American like me who wants to move to Mexico for a better life?
Visa tourist.
A tourist visa. Okay.
The tourist visa.
Got it.
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
It's okay. So what is a requirement
you need to have your passport. You need a photograph.
Okay.
It's a photograph size passport.
Passport. Okay.
The application format. You need to do an appointment in the website.
Yeah.
For example, the website is www.citas.
Yeah.
.gov.
Okay.
GOV. .mx.
Okay.
You need to do an appointment, and then you need to prove your economic solvency.
This is where it gets tough. So, what does economic solvency mean?
That you have the enough money to stay here in Mexico.
Okay. And what is enough money?
I know that.
I know.
For example, there is a general rule.
Okay.
You need $4,000. You need to prove that you have $4,000 per month.
Per month coming in.
If you have a job.
A job.
Or if you have pension.
A pension. Okay.
You need to prove that.
Okay.
And the other is that you have an investment for
Okay.
$70,000.
$70,000.
$70,000.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that
It could be changed.
okay?
Because each embassy
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
his rules.
Okay.
So you need to search
Yeah.
exactly the quantities. But this is an idea, a global idea
Okay.
of how many money do you need.
So
to
it's
do the
either.
procedure.
So it's either. Let me get this clear. Is it either you're making $4,000 per month, or
pension, or your pension, yes.
or 70,000 in investments in Mexico? Is it? Do you need both or one or the other?
One or the other.
Okay, so it's either $4,000 per month that you can prove that you're bringing in, whether it's a pension or from a job, or maybe even your business, or you have investments in Mexico that is what, 70,000 total or 70,000 per year?
This is, for example, the investment is for year,
Per year.
and the
Okay.
employee on the pensions of
Yeah.
the employed.
Yeah.
You need to prove that you have this quantity for 6 months. Every 6 months, you need to prove
Ah.
with the
Okay.
papers of the bank.
Okay.
Yes. For example, each month you have the $4,000,
Yeah.
but you need to prove that you have been
Mm-hmm.
this candidate for the 6 months.
Okay.
I don't know if I can explain that.
Yeah, it's. I think it's pretty clear.
Okay.
For me, if you guys have any questions about that, write them down in the comments below, and we'll do another video to answer that. And I think it's really funny right now that someone is watering.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like someone's like.
But it's very important to connect with the consulate, with
Yeah.
the Mexican consulate in the United States,
Yeah.
because each consulate has his proper rules.
Oh, okay. So I think this is a very important part. Is if you are serious about getting your temporary residence, it's important that you start in the United States, where in the state where you reside, in a Mexican consulate or embassy, and start the process there. Is that right?
Yes, is that right?
Okay. What is the process over there that they need to
Okay,
do?
then you are going to have your visa, your tourist visa.
They'll give you a tourist visa. Okay.
Thank you. And this tourist visa is for 180 days.
Okay.
In that 180 days, you must came here to Mexico.
Okay.
And when you
So
are
within 180 days, you have to come to Mexico. Okay.
and in the first 30 days, you need to contact me
Okay.
for make the procedure with the immigration authorities here in Mexico.
Got it. Okay. So within those 30 days, you either start the process yourself, which we've talked about this, that you can do the process yourself, the procedures, or hire someone like Angelica who can make sure all of the application process and format is exactly the way that the authorities here deal with it. Because what she was talking about earlier when she was explaining this to me was that if the paperwork is out of order, or if the format in how you put the information is not in the format that I don't know what you call it, that the office that you go to here doesn't accept, you've got to start the process all over again. They will not process it for you. And is it true that you said it's different whether you go to like San Miguel or here in Guanajuato, in Leon, or in Querétaro? Like it's all different, right? You said?
This is the second step.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is the second step.
second step for have your
This
temporary
is not an
residence.
easy process, by the
No,
way.
it's a very not bureaucratic, but it
Bureaucratic, yeah?
depends of each person. It's not the same for all the person, but it is the global idea
Okay.
for what do you need.
Wait,
All
is
right.
it this? When you say person, it depends on the applicant or the office that you go to.
No, the applicant.
The applicant. So
Because
it all
you
depends.
can have this tourist visa, but you have 30 years old,
Okay.
or you are a pensioned people with 16 years old.
Yeah, 60,
It depends.
okay.
Or you are a student,
Yeah.
etc.
So it's all different.
It's different.
Okay.
But there's another. This is the second step.
Yeah.
When you came here to Mexico, we have 30 days
Yeah.
for make the canje.
Okay.
That's the name, canje, that is exchange. I think
Okay.
that is the word in English. For make the canje of this visa that the consulate gave you,
Yeah.
and then to make this procedure for have your temporary residence, your
Okay.
carnet for temporary residence. By this step, we need another documents, your visa, your passport, the application format, and the migration format,
Okay.
the FMN
Okay.
that you have when you came here to Mexico
Yeah.
by the airport, by the sea, by the
Yeah.
route
Yeah.
in the front, etc. Yes, that's the other. And then you need to pay the rights at the end. You need to pay
The
you
fees,
Need to
the
pay
fees.
the fees
Yeah.
from the immigration authorities here in
Okay.
Mexico.
And are the fees different depending on the office that you go to?
No.
So for example, all
No,
the
it's
fees
the
are
same.
the same.
All the fees is the same.
Okay.
The only thing that changed is the fees for temporary residence or for permanent residence.
Yeah.
This is another procedure.
Okay.
But the fees are the same in all the country.
Okay. And I think we're going to discuss permanent residency in another video because getting your temporary residency is a whole animal in itself. I understand that you help people process their temporary residency either in San Miguel de Allende or even better in Leon.
Yes.
Right? And why do you prefer Leon?
Because
the most?
we live here in
Yeah,
Guanajuato.
that's true. And it's much, much closer.
It's much closer. Yes, I think so. And I love all
Yeah.
the people.
Yeah, of
But
course.
there's a lot of San Miguel de Allende has a lot of people.
Yeah, San Miguel de Allende offices
The
are
offices.
a lot, and you
But
have to
they're
go there.
very
Yeah.
nice. The authority, yes.
Yeah, but you
Yes,
prefer
and
Leon, like
But
so.
for the it's very near to Guanajuato.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
So
that.
if you're planning to live in Guanajuato, it makes sense to just process your paperwork once you're here in Guanajuato, in Leon, which is about a 30 or 40 minute drive. And if you work with someone like Angelica, or I think, for example, Angelica, you take them, you drive them to the office. And you stay
And then
with
we
them the
return
whole time,
together.
and you return together, and you make sure every single paperwork, all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, and you make room for no mistakes. Because do you have any horror stories about people
Yes.
trying to do this themselves? Which, by the way, yes, I'm definitely trying to help by sending more people to Angelica. That's not a surprise. I love helping friends out. She's helping us out with our legal stuff, Nesto and I. And like, she's a very trusted person in our lives. And the reason why we're doing this video is because I trust her serving my audience and serving you guys who may need temporary residence. And I know a lot of you are in a hurry to get out of the US and get over here legally. And so I thought, hey, let's drive some business to Angelica. But I do know that she's very thorough. She's very professional, and she speaks great English. And you know, so she walks you hand by the hand. She leads you by the hand, and you can make sure that everything that you need, and that there are no mistakes. Because what is a horror story? You were telling me earlier about someone who tried to do it themselves.
Yes. First, I'm going to finish
Okay.
with this important thing that the
yes.
resident temporary, the first is for 1 year, then 2 years, 3 years, at the end 4 years, and then you can have your permanent residence.
Okay.
But at the first, it's just for 1 year.
Oh wait, you have to start with 1 year first?
Yes, 1
You
year.
can't go
first.
straight to 4 years?
No, it's your 1 year, and depends. Then 2 years or 3 years.
Do you have to pay every year?
No,
You just
Just-
renew it every time?
just renew it every time. For 1 year,
Yeah.
now the fees are like 5,000
Okay.
pesos, Mexican pesos.
So that's roughly around $250 to $300,
Yes.
depending on the
Depends.
exchange. Yeah. Okay, so the first year is around that, and then, but when someone works with you, on the first year, do your fees of the fees to work with you when they hire you, do you help them every year until they get to the 4 years, or do they have to pay you again to process the second year and the third year and the fourth year, or however it works?
Yes, I know. There's the second option that you say. Why? Because each procedure is different.
Each procedure.
Each procedure is different. It's not the same.
By the way, she's fluent in French as well, so I just heard a French word. Unless chaque année, like, is that, each procedure, yeah.
So that's for that, but it's cheaper. Every year is cheaper.
Okay. So every year, when you decide to renew, which we're not even there right now, we'll we'll work on that later on, and we'll maybe interview some of her other clients that have worked with her. But in the meantime, like, if someone wants to work with you and start the process, and by the way, please do not contact her if you are just researching and you want general information. You can research that on Google yourself. You can easily Google that stuff. But if you want to start the process and start the paperwork and make sure you do everything in order, and you have someone to call or email after each step to make sure that you don't make any mistakes, because you still haven't told the story. Because what happens is, if you start the process when you're in the United States and you come here and something is out of order, guess who has to start all over again? And guess who wastes a trip over here? That's what we're preventing. And so share maybe a story of someone who tried to do it themselves, or
he has a lot of mistakes, and we need to begin. And I don't know, it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
And then you need to have your documents organized, and not a delivery passport, no delivery application format. Just in time.
Okay.
All your things must be in time.
So everything needs to be in order, organized, and you need all of the information up front. If you're missing one thing, it's not going to happen. There's so many people applying, especially now, that they don't have the patience to work with you and make sure you have all of your stuff in order. You need to be diligent and be resourceful to have everything in order before you even make an appointment at the office, right?
Yes, and I can help you. At the beginning of the procedure, at the end of the procedure.
So you can, if you're just even thinking about it now and you're ready to start the process and you have the qualifications, especially the financial qualifications to get your temporary residence, and you want to start and you're starting from the very beginning, Angelica can help you. And if you've already started the process in the States and you want to make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row, that everything is right, Angelica can also help you as well, just to make sure before you even come here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put her email or her contact information in the description of this video. So please don't ask me in the comments how you can get a hold of her. Please, if you're still watching this video, you know to look in the description of this video and see her contact information there. We're going to do more videos about the immigration process in upcoming weeks with Angelica, and if you have any questions regarding how to get your temporary or permanent residence, write them down in the comments below and we'll make sure to answer them in a video. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Angelica, do you have anything else to say?
Nice to see you guys.
All right, so I hope you liked this video. I hope you got something out of it and it provided you with some clarity that you wanted and needed to start the process. And we look forward to sharing some coffee with you and breaking bread with you here in Guanajuato.
Thank you so much.
See you, of course.
Thank you.
Bye.